We live in a country ruled by weather, yet governed through latency. Between an event and its announcement, there's always a gap. In a bushfire season, that gap can be terminal. The ground blackens before it is named, the air turns to smoke before the hazard is declared, the fire crosses the fence line before the trucks are dispatched. In the summer of 2019 to 20, that gap became the country itself. From forest to Main Street, grassland to coastline, fire without edges.
We found that the fire had burnt, most of the fences, only material things. We found dead animals, which is pretty sad. Yeah. Oh, a lot of wildlife, scorched, baked. It's pretty sad. Very sad.
The suggestion that there is a single policy, whether it be climate or otherwise, can provide a complete insurance policy on fires in Australia. Well, I don't think any Australian has ever understood that was the case in this country.
The way Western, society works is really based on the aftermath of things and always acting when things are too late. Whereas all the work that I do is in the prevention of that, and is really about putting fires in, not to save your house, just your house, but to save the bushlands, look after the environment as a whole, and above all, teach people what they should know about the country in terms of understanding fire properly.
Weather is not read in a single language. For Indigenous knowledge systems, fire is a practice tool, handled with care like a doctor tending a patient. The burn is deliberate and cool, healing the ground, protecting the canopy, opening space for new growth, and ensuring food for animals and people alike. In the Western frame, fire becomes an adversary. It is feared, suppressed, and only named when data confirms its arrival, when thresholds are crossed and alarms can be sounded. For farmers, fire is neither patient nor enemy, but an uninvited visitor they often meet first. In the faint scent carried across the paddock, the strange cast of the light, the uneasy shift in the herd, all before the warning makes its way through official channels. This lag between them is dangerous, and the continued unsynchronized nature of our weather means we can no longer afford to work in silos. To start understanding this gap, I look to the one reading we treat as official, the Bureau of Meteorology. I expected to find something embedded in the conditions it records. Instead, I found an office tower, glass curtain walls, climate control, a building designed to keep the weather out. The view from the tower is not the view from the paddock, the bush track, or the fireground. There's no scent of smoke in the lift, no wind shift in the corridors, no animals moving differently in the stairwell. From here, weather is translated into numbers. Signals reach the tower from instruments across the country, are processed, verified, signed off, and only then released. It's a chain built for accuracy, but one that lengthens itself with every safeguard. Inside the Bureau, this is process. Outside, it is latency. So why should architecture concern itself with this, beyond noting that the Bureau occupies a building never designed for it? Because buildings are not silent observers. They shape what is seen, and sometimes they distort it. Take Melbourne's La Trobe Street weather station. It was trusted to read the city for 107 years, until the city built up around it. High-rises bent wind, cast shadows, and called its sensors. The readings shifted, the station closed, its instruments relocated to Olympic Park. The issue is not the tower itself, but the fragility of a single centralized lens. When our only official reading is mediated by distance, bureaucracy, and the built environment around it, the result will always risk falling out of step with what is unfolding on the ground. What if the nation's forecast was never distilled into a single answer, but held in a place where every reading, official, inherited, lived, stayed intact, not blended into consensus, not ranked in order of authority, but set alongside each other so that differences could be worked with? not smoothed over. Whittlesea sits on the scene between metropolitan certainty and rural doubt. It has felt the gap between warning and impact. In the sudden frost, the flash flood, the firestorm that turned sky to ash in the 2009 Black Saturday fires. It holds farmers who read the roll of a cloud or the colour of a paddock before trusting the Bureau's delayed alert, because it dictates what machinery is taken out, what work is done that day. And it stands on country who is in active dialogue with her people, communicating where she is sick and in need of care, and through subtle gestures in the flora and fauna marking the passing of her seasons, dictating the cultural practices of care that must follow. For these first 5 weeks, drawing this building too quickly would risk reducing it. Its form cannot be fixed until its role is clear. For now, I have tested its possible scale against the ground, and instead I offer a manifesto for what is to come. This building will be designed to keep these readings in play. It will be part observatory, part archive, part working room, a civic instrument that will hold attention long enough for it to alter the response. It won't solve latency, but it will share authority within it, so no single system holds the right to name weather alone. What it houses will not necessarily be agreement, but the capacity to act in the face of dissonance. From these rooms, the forecast does not leave as a single voice, but as a set of parallel signals. The meteorologist still delivers the Bureau's update, but without alarm when smoke aligns with the planned cool burn. The Indigenous fire practitioner may investigate a stretch of country the scientist has flagged for unusual activity. The farmer may fold these practices into the day's work while offering their own readings back into the system. They move outward together, not to merge, but to be read side by side, each shaping or challenging the others. What reaches the public is not a replacement for the official forecast, but its necessary friction. For Whittlesea, this is neither monument nor visitor centre. It is a working power bureau, a structure that holds the tension between systems until it reshapes the response. So I leave you with this question. What kind of civic architecture is brave enough to hold all three? The scientist in a suit, the farmer in mud-caked boots, and the fire practitioner with knowledge older than the nation, as equals under one roof.